Welcome to the Know. I'm Ashley Jenkins. Let's speedrun a whole bunch of news, why don't we? Strap on your nerve gear, everyone, because Sword Art Online is about to be real. IBM Japan announced yesterday that it plans on fully realizing the world of Sword Art Online with the upcoming Sword Art Online: The Beginning. Slightly similar to its anime counterpart, it'll be a total virtual reality project where the game is controlled by moving your body. In conjunction with a unique computing system that supports human decision-making, as well as SoftLayer, IBM's next-generation cloud tech that simulates real-world ambience, Sword Art Online plans to create a game experience unlike any other. Hopefully, that unique experience doesn't include trapping you in the game and killing you. Hey, IBM is currently taking applications for a closed alpha of 200 gamers to take place between March 18th and 20th in Tokyo. This is all starting to sound eerily similar, but let's be honest, it wouldn't be all that bad to be trapped in a real Sword Art Online. It seems like the division certainly didn't have a problem with players wanting to leave its latest beta. Per a post on the game's official blog, more than 6.4 million players tried out the beta for their newest apocalyptic foe MMO. Maybe it's a FOMO? MMFO? Whatever. This makes it the, quote, biggest beta ever for a new game brand on current generation platforms. All that marketing just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? No need to fact check it because it's so vaguely specific that it covers all the bases and none of the bases at the same time. You could infer from that statement that there are bigger betas for old IP like Star Wars Battlefront, which had 9 million players in its final beta, and bigger betas for new IP that took place on previous generation platforms. Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of a Franchise isn't out yet either, but that hasn't slowed down DC's plans for a Lex Luthor-like takeover for the box office. They announced yesterday that the Justice League movie will begin filming officially April 11th, just 2 weeks after Batman vs. Superman releases. That means they'll be racing to hit peak cinematic universe faster than a speeding bullet, as the movie is dated for November 2017. Batman vs. Superman is set to introduce Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Doomsday, Cyborg, probably a few Marvel characters at this point, and your high school senior class of 2012, because why the hell not? Batman vs. Superman's official runtime has also been released at 2 hours 31 minutes, so be sure to empty those bat bladders before the superhero starts pummeling you. Unlike DC's cinematic universe, Microsoft wants you to be assured that their new HoloLens is anything but half-baked, which is why the company is taking its time with the product. In fact, at a recent TED conference, Microsoft's Alex Kipman went so far as to say they're specifically avoiding the HoloLens turning into another Kinect. I'd say that's a burn, but Kipman himself is the man behind Microsoft's motion controller, so why did Kinect do so poorly? In his mind, it just didn't have enough applications for how quickly it caught on, leaving consumers with, well, not a lot to use it for. He says right now the HoloLens only has about 12 things for consumers to do, so they'd like to hold it back until the world is ready. That's like 10 more things than Kinect had, so you've got a leg up already. Hopefully Microsoft can divert some of that same TLC into Xbox Live, which has been having a troubling amount of disruption to its service over the last week or so. Last night, Live got so borked that gamers couldn't even launch digital games from their own libraries. Always comforting to be reminded that the stuff you own, you don't own, and is all subject to internet connectivity. Microsoft's not talking much about its recent outages, leading some to wonder just what is going on with Live. More lizards in the wires? Who knows? In addition to yesterday, which was the worst yet, there have been reported connectivity issues with the service for the past 8 days. There were also issues for several days straight from February 15th to 19th, plus the 21st. There's plenty of speculation that the service may be suffering from DDoS attacks, but until Microsoft says anything, speculation's really all it is. Good thing it's free, right? Yeah, all those online gamings. We know there won't be a console master race anytime soon, but what about a mobile master race? In what could be an interesting development for hardcore gaming in the mobile space, the just announced Samsung Galaxy S7 will have a few PC-like features and upgrades available when it releases. These upgrades include graphics tweaking and even water cooling. I don't know how that works, but okay. The S7 will also be Let's Play friendly, allowing for gameplay recording and even camera recording for live commentary while you play. When you add that to Vulkan API support, which will allow developers to make better use of the phone's multi-core processors, it seems like the mobile gaming performance is going to get a huge upgrade. Now, if only they could replicate the broken console ports, then the PC experience would really be complete. In slightly less exciting phone news, Apple and the FBI's legal spat is only getting more intense and in some ways more ridiculous. It's kind of funny if you can just ignore the whole threat to privacy as we know it, no big deal. Last week, a federal judge ordered Apple to give the FBI backdoor access to an iPhone used by one of the San Bernardino shooters, which Apple immediately opposed. But according to recent developments in the historic legal battle, it seems that the FBI may have had access to the shooter's iCloud at one point, but accidentally reset the password. This prevented the iPhone from making another auto backup, which would have potentially had the information they wanted in the first place. Now that Apple has taken a stand, a number of tech companies have come out in support of either Apple or the FBI, and according to a recent survey, more than 50% of Americans think Apple should cooperate with the order. That good old if you don't have anything to hide, you shouldn't mind routine, right? Say people who wear clothes because privacy's privacy. Moving right along, China certainly isn't going to wait around for America to lay total claim to Mars. In a race to compete with NASA's next 2020 mission, China is fast-tracking a mission that involves sending an orbiter, lander, and rover to the Red Planet. The orbiter will have the ability to detect methane gas, which could indicate if any biological processes are happening on the planet's surface and farting. The land equipment they're launching will include a ground-penetrating radar capable of checking up to 400 meters below Mars' surface. This same equipment led them to discover evidence of volcanic floods on the moon, so it seems we have a legitimate space race on our hands, which means it won't be long before we figure out how to pollute some other place. Next up, Warren Spector is back in gaming news this week after the announcement that he'd be returning to the development of System Shock 3 with Otherside Entertainment last week. It seems that Spector is doing a little bit of trash talking about the rest of the video game industry. According to an interview with Gama Sutra, Spector believes gaming hasn't progressed much at all recently, saying that it seems like we're getting more finely tuned, pretty versions of games we've been playing for years. That's why he's making System Shock 3. He went on to say that the indie game scene is the only place where real experimentation is happening, and that he plans to do new and interesting things with non-enemy AI in his next game. Of course, the punch of all these fighting words is lessened just a little bit when you remember that this is the same guy who designed Epic Mickey, so we'll see. We've heard of unfrozen caveman lawyers, yay for references nobody will get, but robot lawyers might be something entirely new. A 19-year-old British programmer has developed a bot that successfully appealed over $3 million worth of parking tickets. When you log into the site, you just answer a couple of questions about your case, and LawyerBot, not the actual name, handles the rest. This is a technological step which could lead to replacing the lizard people known as lawyers with robots who perform the same tasks and seem a lot cooler. Unfortunately, the bot can only handle filing appeal claims and doesn't actually appear in front of judges, which would basically be the makings of the best sitcom of all time. Thanks, reality, for ruining my robot society dreams. We'll get there one day. And if it's anything like Ex Machina, they'll dance. That's it for the roundup. What do you guys think of all these recent developments in this crazy world of ours? And why are you still wearing clothes? Let me know in the comments. For more updates on our Robotopia future and other geeky news, remember to like this video and subscribe to The Know. Really, I think we should just all be naked all the time. Starting with all of you guys. I'll just be over here, enjoying my privacy. And the privacy of my phones.